The cheapest way to find off-market leads, do you want to know? It's driving for dollars. It actually costs you no money other than maybe your time and a little bit of gas money. Today, I want to show you a couple properties that we're going to go to, and all it takes is literally just driving around. We don't have to spend any money. We don't have to do anything like that. It's literally, I'm going to be pushing on the gas pedal, driving down the street, and connecting my Deal Machine app to these properties. So what I want to show you really quick before we get going is with Deal Machine, you can actually drive these roads, and obviously be careful, but you can have your Deal Machine app open, driving the streets along with you. And when you find a property, it's super easy. You literally just click on it and you can start a mailer. It automatically skip traces for you. It's huge. It's really a game changer when you're trying to find off-market deals. I really can't think of anything easier. All right, so we are definitely coming up on one of these properties that for sure qualifies for a lot of stuff in the yard. You know, there's a lot of craziness going on. Let's get a quick picture of what the story is. Definitely a lot of deferred maintenance, a lot of junk, a lot of old vehicles and things. So again, not gonna linger around the property a ton, but like, okay, this one qualifies, right? Like they are obviously lost control of the property in one way or another. And you know, there's definitely some deferred maintenance and just junk hanging out. So to me, this person, you know, has a reason to sell, right? Like, let's be real. Like, I don't think anybody enjoys having a ton of stuff in their yard like that. Like, would he entertain an offer from us, cash offer? Most likely, yes. So like, these are the things that we're looking out for. I mean, we're just looking for something that gives us any sort of confidence that, okay, maybe this person wants to sell. All right, so we're about to come up on another one. This one, I actually think someone beat us to it, potentially, because they have a dumpster in their driveway that clearly, you know, throwing out trash and trying to make it better. But like, okay, old roof, old garage doors, old trash is being thrown out, siding's falling off. Definitely one to try to find where the owner lives, you know, phone number, skip trace it, you know, send a postcard, that one for sure. So with that one, even though there's a dumpster in the yard, it could be the owner, right? Let's just say that it's the owner, like they finally, you know, like, okay, I'm over this, like I kicked the tenants out, I'm gonna clean this place up. That's fine. Like, let's get to them now before they finish the job, while their property is still in disarray, and send a postcard, make the call, be like, hey, look, stop your work. Don't worry about throwing anything out. Don't even worry about the dumpster. Don't worry about painting, siding, roof, nothing. Drop the hammer, right? Like, let me take over. Let me give you a lower price, right? Because your property is not fixed up yet. You've only just, you know, started. You have a dumpster in the driveway, but let me take over. Let me do all that. Let me give you obviously a lower price because you're not done, but let's talk about that. So that's fine. Like, we want to get to people before they complete the job. We don't want to buy, like, we're not going to market to a turnkey property, right? Like, we want to get to him or her before they do all this work. So now, what if it's a brand new owner, right? It's a new owner that took over the property, that beat us to it. We can find that on the town card. Like, pretty much any place in the country has a local, like, you know, government information systems, like GIS systems. Here in Connecticut, like, that's what we have. It's very easy. I can go on right now on my phone and sort of just see, like, did the property change hands in the last, you know, month, right? Oh, John Smith bought this property. Okay, so in that case, more than likely another investor beat us to it. But, you know, we don't know that until we do some due diligence. All right, so we're pulled over on the side of the road here. We just want to be, you know, cognizant of, you know, where you're driving and who's out and about. So I just want to pull off real quick and just kind of discuss, like, what we look for when we're doing driving for dollars. So I got a super quick list here. Basically, the telltale signs of a dilapidated property, or maybe an owner that's not taking care of their property, not keeping up with their property, maybe lives in a different state, right? And is not even going by their property to see what it looks like. They don't even know that it has tall grass. It has, like, these, you know, 4 or 5 things that we always kind of look for. So the items that are, like, super important to look for when you're driving for dollars is tall grass. Are they keeping up with the property? Mailbox. Is it full? Is it stuffed? Is there, like, envelopes, you know, falling out of the front door there? Does it have boarded up windows? That's a huge sign. I mean, if it has boarded up windows, right, it's probably vacant. Maybe the town took it over. It's definitely something to look into. Does it have old junk cars? Does it have crap in their yard, right? Like, is it something where like the tenants are sort of like completely taking over the space? They're not keeping up. They're probably not paying rent. Like, this is an owner that more than likely will want to sell. Is the siding falling off? Is the roof, coming undone? Does it look really old? Are the windows cracked, or broken? All these sorts of things are things that in just your daily course, like, are you going to work? Are you going to the gym? Are you going out with your girlfriend? Like, these are all things that when you're driving, just look out for them. I mean, you'd be very surprised when you really start paying attention to these things, how many properties just in your daily commute you'll come across. Once you get that in your mind that you should be looking for these things and using an app like Deal Machine to sort of piece it all together, it really comes together fast. And even if you live in a nice area, you're going to be surprised about how many properties, like, oh wow, like, okay, this really doesn't match like the rest of the houses in the area. I think there might be something going on here. Obviously, like, when you're doing it, you're probably not going to be shooting a video and looking into a camera and all these things. So like, it's going to be considerably easier than what I really just showed you. And again, Deal Machine could not be easier. You literally just click start driving. It maps your course. So like, basically the road shows up in a different color. It shows up like yellow. So that way, when you're going and doing this on a different day, you can reference the map, right? Like, you don't want to be driving the same streets potentially, all the time. Like, if you've covered this area, it shows you that, okay, this area has been covered already. And so when you do find a property, it's literally just clicking it. It'll highlight it. You can select it to add it to your queue. And what I do is, when I'm done with driving, right, I'm back at my desk, I can go reference those properties that I clicked when I was driving a particular route. From there, I do create tags. So like, if I'm driving or another one of my drivers is driving, they each have their own driving for dollars tags. Like, for example, my name's Ryan, so driving for $1 R, that is one of my tags. And then I will also tag high grass or broken windows, or just so I have a reference point, so that when let's just say I do get a hold of this owner, I can go and reference my tags and be like, hey, I did see that there were some broken windows. I was just kind of local to the area and I was doing a drive and I happened to drive by your property and I saw X, Y, and Z. So when you're tagging hundreds of properties and you do make these calls, like, let's be honest, you're not going to remember what you saw. So using the tags is super important. And again, as soon as you select the property, you add it to your Deal Machine lead list, it automatically skip traces it. So when you're back at your desk, like, hopefully you're going to have that number right there in front of you, and maybe even their email address. So you have no excuses. Like, you drove by, it had all the things that you're looking for. You've got their phone number, make the call. From there, it could not be easier to also do the postcard. Like, obviously you've got to create your postcard. You got to put in the language, the verbiage that you want on there, and obviously a call to action. Are they going to call you? Are they going to email you? Are they going to go to your website? Like, you have to have all these things on your postcard. But once that's all set, all you do is click start mail, and you can do one piece of mail. You could do 10 pieces of mail. It's all how you set up your sequence. But all these things are very easy to do. It's just, you've got to be adding properties to your list. And again, the easiest way and cheapest way to add qualified properties to your list is driving for $1. Costs nothing other than, your time, or maybe you're just on your commute and you would have been driving there anyway. So it's just gas money, I guess. So with that, thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in. Stay tuned for many, many more videos. Remember, sky's the limit.